the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On 18.
Hello everyone, welcome to the East of the Niger show on Atlantic Television Network. The program is focused on highlighting the rich cultural heritage and historical significance of the ethnic nationalities in the former Eastern Nigeria, now divided into the Southeast, comprising Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo states, and the South-South, comprising Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and River states. In its characteristic style of in-depth, factual, and unbiased reportage, Atlantic Television Network will tell the stories. Abilities will serve as a vibrant and engaging way to showcase the rich cultural heritage of the people of the East of the Niger. Now, this program showcases the network.tv on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Apple TV platform, Niger TV, Efastec TV. You can also connect with us on our 18 socials on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network.
Across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the happenings around the globe.
Welcome back. Today we have a very interesting significant group of the Igbo ethnic group, primarily found in southern Igbo land within Abia State, Nigeria. They are recognized as the largest Igbo subgroup. Their territory lies between the Imo River to the west and the Anang Ibibio people to the east, with Asa, Ndoki, Ubakala, or Lokoro, and Isyogu people inhabiting adjacent regions. Let's look at the history of the Ungwa people. Tradition holds that the Ungwa people traced their Imo state, as legend recounts they bored their yams quickly and crossed the Imo River, Obengwa, and others. The Ungwa speak to Amadioha and earth and yam gods. The age grade system known as Umunaubo or Umun Obo of the Ungwa people of Abia State is one of the most important pillars of their traditional society. It is both a social institution and governance mechanism, shaping how community life is organized, responsibilities are shared, and cultural identity is preserved. The political structure of the Ungwa people of Abia State is deeply rooted in Igbo Republican traditions, but also reflects their own unique adaptations. Unlike centralized monarchies, Ungwa political life has historically been decentralized, participatory, and community-driven, relying on councils, age grades, title societies, and kinship groups. The tangible culture of the Ungwa people refers to the physical, material aspects of their heritage, things you can see, touch, and use that express their identity, history, and values, being the largest Igbo subgroup in Abia: architecture, craft, symbols, and artifacts. Let's look at the traditional attire of the Ungwa people. In Ungwa Kingdom, men traditionally wear isiago, which is the lion head patterned tunic fabric, white wrappers, beads, and caps. Women adorn themselves with wrappers, George, lace, or akwete clothes, blouses, coral beads, waist beads, and head ties, also known as gele. On festive occasions, both sexes decorate with anklets, necklaces, and brass ornaments. The akwete clothes, usually worn by the Ungwa people, are historically linked with the akwete weaving, though it originates from the nearby Ndoki women. This is a hand-woven textile made on a loom using cotton, raffia, or silk, known for bold colors and geometric patterns. Akwete clothes is worn on special occasions and is a proud symbol of Igbo and Ungwa identity. For masquerades known as Mmau, masquerades costumes are highly visible in Ungwa tangibles. The masks, known as raffia outfits, and musical instruments, drum, flute, organ are crafted objects representing spiritual and ancestral ties. Ngwa traditional houses are built with mud walls, thatched or palm front roofs, and decorated entrances. The Obi, which is the ancestral meeting house, is an important physical space, often decorated with carved pillars and ritual symbols. The Amala, which is the village square, is also a tangible cultural space where political and social life takes place. Arts and crafts. Wood carvings used for masks, tools, staffs of office, and shrines. Metal works include gongs. Calabashes are used in cooking, rituals, and palm wine serving. For the food and culture of the Ungwa people, they usually cultivate yam, cassava, cocoyam, maize, vegetables, and palm oil, which are staples. Tangible food items like fufu, gari, okaza soup, ofe akara, abacha, which is African salad, are key parts of their culinary culture. There's also the New Yam Festival, which highlights yam as a tangible cultural symbol of wealth and fertility. Traditional instruments from the part of Ungwa include ikoro drum, giant slit drum used for communication, ekwe, ogene, gong, ichaka, which is a rattle, udu, which is a clay drum. These are used in festivals, dances like ese, okom, and ayan toluku. The Ofo staff, which is a symbol of truth and justice, is one of the symbols and regalia of authority. Elephant tusks, red caps, eagle feathers, and beads worn by titled men and elders are symbols of power. Okonko Society regalia is a secret society where members display special staffs, masquerade costumes, and drums. Some of the monuments in Ungwa Kingdom includes the chief Okoroji's house, Arochukwu, which is a 17th century mud-built residence of Mazi Okoroji Oti, a prominent Ungwa-linked chief and figure in regional history. It's officially designated as a national monument, now preserved as the Okoroji House Museum, showcasing artifacts such as slave chains, brass, manillas, shrine, paraphernalia, and historical relics. The next is the Ungwa Unity Complex, Osisioma Ungwa, a modern heritage complex opened in late 2023, located in Osisioma Ungwa. It features a multi-purpose facility with a museum, tourist center, literacy and technology center, library, halls, guest suites, and notably a monument to the historic 1929 Aba women's riots. The third is the statue of Paul Onuruka. In Aba, a statue was unveiled at Obikabia Junction to honor Paul Uruka, a former works minister from Ungwa land. It commemorates his contributions to infrastructure and road development in the region. The fourth is the Border Gateway Monument in Abia State. Although broader in scope, this new monument at Abia State's borders, such as at Onitsha Ungwa, contribute to the regional identity where Ungwa communities reside. Intended as symbolic welcome markers at state entry points, they indirectly celebrate Ungwa land in the broader state's context. The last is the National War Museum, Umuahia. Located in Umuahia within Ungwa territory, this is Nigeria's only war museum. While not specific to the Ungwa, it houses significant collections from the Biafra-Nigerian Civil War and events that deeply affected Ungwa communities. For the landscape, Ungwa people of Abia State occupy a large part of the south and central areas of the state, especially around Aba and its surrounding local governments, Obingwa, Osisioma, because of its thriving markets like Ariaria International Market and industries. The urban landscape contrasts with the rural setting. There are busy roads, residential areas, modern institutions, and large markets that attract traders from across West Africa. Cultural landscape. Traditional meeting squares called Ama or Ezi, village shrines, and marketplaces shape the social environment. Festivals and ceremonies are often held in these open spaces, keeping the land culturally significant. Expanding urbanization around Aba and nearby towns has led to the transformation of farmland into residential and commercial areas. Roads, schools, churches, and industries now dominate parts of Ongwa territory, blending tradition with modern development. Some of the books and scholarly works of the Ongwa people. One is the history of Ongwa people and Aba town, Once Upon a Time 2021 by Eze Obinna Onwuma. A richly detailed narrative of the Ongwa people's origin and political journey, particularly centered on Aba. It traces their long walk to freedom and rise in political influence, offering exclusive insider information. Ngwa History, a study of social and economic changes in Igbo mini-states in the perspective 1991 by John Nwachime Reze, Origi. It provides an analysis of Ongwa societal structure, origin narratives, economic networks, the role of title societies, palm produce, trade, and the Aba women's revolt of
sports, and documentaries. So catch all your hits on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On 18.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now let's continue with the rest of the stories that we have for today. For the language and proverbs and oral literature of the Ongwa people. The Ongwa people speak a distinct Ngwa dialect of Igbo rich in idioms, proverbs and storytelling traditions. Proverbs and fables carry moral lessons, social norms, and local history. They are used in public speech, dispute resolution, and teaching younger generations. Festivals, masquerades, and ritual performance, key annual events were notably the Ekpe masquerade celebrations and the New Yam Ahia Jioku rites, combines music, mask dance, ritual protocols, and costume to mark the agricultural year. It honors ancestors and regulates social life. Masquerades, which is Mao and Ekbe, serves religious, judicial, and entertainment roles and remain highly symbolic. Intangible norms include age grade systems, title taking, status markers and leadership roles, mechanism for dispute settlement, councilship, marriage, and land use. These structures shape community governance and everyday ethics. While many Ungwa are Christian today, traditional belief persists. Reverence for ancestors, respect for Earth's deity, which is Allah, deities like Njoko, the Yam god, and ritual objects or four that symbolize truth, justice, and lineage continuity. Rituals around farming, death, and oath making draw on this cosmology. The Ungwa maintain indigenous communication methods, town criers, drumming signals, public performance, and ritualized speech that transmit news, laws, moral lessons, and cultural memory. Scholars note these media still function alongside modern mass media, reinforcing identity. The marriage tradition of the Ongwa people of Abia State is rich and symbolic, combining family, social, and spiritual dimensions. It reflects Ongwa values of kinship, communal approval, and respect for tradition. Here's a breakdown of the key stages. The inquiry and introduction. When a young man identifies the woman he wishes to marry, his family discreetly makes inquiries into the woman's family background. They investigate character, lineage, health, fertility, history, and whether the family has any taboos or undesirable reputations. Once satisfied, the man's family knocks on the door by visiting the bride's family with kola nut, palm wine, and a token gift to formally announce their interest. The bride's family consults their daughter for her consent. Without her agreement, the process cannot proceed. A larger family meeting is then held where both extended families gather. This is where the woman is publicly asked if she accepts the suitor. For payment of bride price, Once consent is given, negotiations over the bride price begin. Items requested typically include kola nuts, palm wine, goats or fowls, yams, clothing and jewelry for bride's parents, cash payments, the actual bride price, which is often symbolic today. The Ongwa emphasized that the money itself is not selling the bride, but a token of respect to the family for raising her. For the traditional wedding, this is a colorful stage where the bride is formally handed over. It usually takes place at the bride's family's compound. Music, drumming, and traditional dances mark the event. The bride, beautifully dressed in George wrapper, beads, and head tie, dances in with a calabash or cup of wine. She searches for her husband among the crowd and offers him the wine, signifying her choice, and then once he drinks, the marriage is sealed before witnesses. After the wedding feast, the bride is escorted to her husband's home with her dowry items and gifts and blessings. Women from her family accompany her and perform rituals to ensure fertility, prosperity, and harmony in her new home. For community approval, marriage is not just between two individuals, but unites families, I beg your pardon, and lineages. The sequence of kola nut presentation, wine carrying, and bride price reflects Ungwa identity. For the traditional food of the Ongwa people of Abia State have a rich culture tied to farming, festivals, and daily life. Their traditional cuisine reflects their environment, fertile farmlands, rivers, and their values of hospitality and communal eating. Yam is the king of foods in Ongwa land. It is boiled, pounded, roasted, or prepared as yam porridge. The yam also features prominently in the New Yam Festival. Cassava is processed into fufu, apple, or gari, which is also known as eba. It is a common staple eaten with various soups. There's also cocoyam used for making soups like ofe ede and thickening agents. Maize, oka, consumed when roasted, boiled, or made into porridge. Ofe oweri is a rich soup prepared with assorted meats, stockfish, snails, and vegetables, which is also known as ugu or kazi. Though named after Owerri, it is also widely eaten in Ongwa land. Ofe nsala, which is the white soup, is a peppery meat or fish-based soup thickened with pounded yam. Ofe ede, which is cocoyam soup, thick and hearty. Ofe onubu, which is the bitter leaf soup, is made with bitter leaf, cocoyam paste, and palm oil. Ofe oha is a seasonal delicacy prepared with the tender leaves of the oha tree. Ofe ugu, which is also known as okazi, is made with pumpkin leaves, ugu, or wild spinach, okazi. For protein sources, fishes, snails, bushmeats, goats, and chicken are used. There's also abacha, which is also known as African salad. It is made from cassava flakes, palm oil, ugba, oil bean, and vegetables. Ukodo, which is yam pepper soup, is yam cooked in spicy broth, often served at family gatherings. Yam pepper soup usually is for new mothers. And then for drinks, we have the palm wine, highly cherished in social and ritual gatherings, especially in marriage ceremonies. For the age group system, the age group or age grade is often called a Biri-O2 in local usage. It is a cohort of people born within a defined period, commonly 2 to 5 years, who are organized as a unit for social, civic, and cultural duties. Typical life cycle and membership: young people are grouped once they reach an agreed age, rite of passage, and remain members for life. Over time, grades move up through community responsibilities, youth work, public projects, leadership roles, and senior advisors. Community labor and development is where building roads come in, wells, schools, and organizing communal farming and town projects. Grades historically provided local enforcement and dispute control, community watch, and marshals in terms of security and order. For festivals and rituals, age grades organize festivals, masquerades, and rites of passage. Mutual support at weddings, funerals, sickness, and during crisis. These functions are described for Igbo communities broadly and are reported as active among Ongwa and neighboring Abia communities. Women often form parallel age groups that handle women's affairs. Market rules ceremonies, mutual support, women-led projects. Their roles are complementary to men's age grades. Names, ceremonies, and leadership. Grades often have local names, Ebiri, Otu, elected offices, president and leader, secretary, treasurer, and a patron or matron, respected elder or benefactor. They sometimes collect levies from members to fund projects. The age grade remains a resilient institution, and many Ngwa communities have revived or adapted age grades to drive development at pipe-borne water, schools, health projects, and to restore discipline and local governance where the state services are weak. At the same time, urbanization and migration have forced adaptations, diaspora chapters, changing age band sizes. For notable personalities of Ngwa, we have Jaja Anocha Nwachukwu, statesman, lawyer, political and diplomat, first indigenous speaker of the Nigerian House of Representatives, first Nigerian ambassador and permanent representative to the UN, first foreign affairs minister. Eyinaya Harcourt Abaribe is a politician, a senator precisely, public servant, long-serving senator, Abia South, former deputy governor of Abia